Valtrex.
Woo! I'm already on that. So.
Oh, okay.
Padded Room Podcasting Hour is back on the air. My name is Darian. I'm back for another week of horror bullshit. My main man Jason Harrell is in the house.
What it do, what it do?
What's going on, Big J?
Oh, just clawing my way to the end of a career.
I know, you're doing well.
By calling in today.
Like crawling or clawing your way, you mean actually staying at home on your couch.
As much as I can.
I love that about you.
40 days remain.
Yeah, we're getting there, dude.
Getting there.
We're getting there. We're going to have a big party when the final day comes.
We don't need retirement to do that.
No, but we still, now we have a reason, Jason.
We do.
We never needed one, but we might as well. Right on, dude. I'm glad.
Not a lot's been going on with me other than watching the crazy antics of you running and running and running and running.
I've had a very eventful weekend, sir. Reno Tahoe Odyssey came and went.
I can see the regret still in your eyes.
Oh, fuck. Why do I keep doing this to myself, man? You know? I can't, like, it's 3 days after. I'm like, that was fun. I had a great time. Let's go ahead and sign me up for next year. While I'm doing it, I'm like, this is fucking dumb. The 2 days immediately following, I'm, like, basically look like I've had chemotherapy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just dead and miserable and sore and dehydrated and malnourished and sleep deprived. And I'm just a terrible person to be around because all of those things make me very cranky, Jason.
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay.
And you put them all together and it makes me a right fuckface.
Now, just to confirm, you pay to run.
I do. And a fairly hefty sum at that. We're talking in the upwards of $300.
Wow.
And that does not include gas, motel, various snacks and shit you got to bring for. Oh, it's a whole ass thing, man. Mm-hmm. It's a whole ass thing. And
Did they at least give you sweet swag?
I got a T-shirt.
Well worth the $300.
One quote unquote free beer at the end. I got a medal. Some of the dudes got stickers. I didn't get one this year.
You didn't get a sticker?
No. I didn't run one of the more... You got to run one of the more difficult legs to get a sticker. I've already got all the stickers. So, but yeah, that's
is that what those white stickers are on the back of
my Jeep?
A bunch of crazy people's cars?
Yep. I ran leg whatever.
Okay.
I ran leg whatever. Now, to the untrained eye, that doesn't mean shit, but... I know leg 4 is a hard one, so I got that one. Leg
so you 33. Can identify your own.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's a miserable experience. But we commiserate. It's like trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? Now my running posse is like my second family.
You know, you could just sit around the house and kick each other in the balls.
It would be a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. And we could do it in an afternoon. We don't have to stretch it out over 36 hours. It's all good, man. Of course, I'm going to do it again.
Of course.
I'm trying to get into the circle of fame, as they call it. So it's 178-mile relays. It's broken up into 36 legs. It's a team of 12. Each person runs 3 legs. So if you run all 36 legs, you get into their circle of fame. This year will put me at exactly halfway there. So I've got 6 more years of this crap.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a ways to go.
That's a commitment.
You'll be quite elderly by the time you
that's why I'm doing
enter
all the
that
hard
circle.
ones now, Jason. So when it comes time to do the easy ones, I can limp my way through it.
Yeah, or just roll your wheelchair.
That too. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Somebody can roll me down the hill.
You're already heading downhill.
I know it, man. God damn it. I got some more exciting. Just as I was in my recovery phase from this, it turns out my old friend comes into town. You may remember a guy by the name of Ron Martin from the Resurrection of Zombie 7 podcast.
No.
Okay, well, he was in town, and I hooked up
Nice.
with him. We had a couple of drinks. Mainly just got hammered and argued about horror movies.
Yeah, but you know I suck at remembering names.
Yeah, you're terrible.
Yeah.
You have the memory of...
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. That was cool seeing him in person.
Yeah, that's cool.
We went out and had some nachos.
Now,
and,
did he run?
Did he? No. He's here
just in town.
He's here for... I'm not gonna comment on his physique or athletic ability, but I will say he's in town for a bowling tournament.
Gotcha.
You understand what
Okay,
I'm telling you?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
He ain't running nowhere. Right on, man. That's the extent of my weekend. I'm still exhausted, and I'm gonna probably pass out as soon as you leave my house tonight.
Yeah.
So we got that going for us.
It's well earned, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. You know what else we got going on? Horror
Herpes.
news.
Oh,
That too. Did you say herpes?
yes.
Well, I mean, it's not something I wanted to advertise, but yes, as a matter of fact. How about some horror news, you maniac?
Do it.
Horror news.
Yes, sir. What do you got, Jay?
Trailer should be up for Sympathy for the Devil, starring Nicolas Cage and Joel Kinnaman. Looks like Nicolas Cage is going to be playing the devil.
Okay.
It's going to come to theaters and on demand July 28th. But the trailer should be up to date.
So here's the first problem I have with that.
Okay.
The title. I feel like somebody said that Rolling Stones song hasn't been used in a movie in about 14 minutes. Let's just make the movie around the song.
It's
Nicolas Cage.
It's a really good song, but my goodness, is it in everything?
It is in every single goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And so why don't we just call the movie that, and then we'll just use the shit out of that, I think is what we went for.
I wonder if they'll actually use it in the movie. It'd
They
be funny
fucking
if they
will
only
better.
used it for the title.
Or if they use a different Rolling Stones song.
There's another one. Resident Evil Death Island, releasing on Blu-ray and digital July 25th.
Ooh.
This is an animated movie.
Oh, okay.
I guess it came to theaters only in Japan.
That makes sense, yeah.
And it looks it was released in Japan.
Okay. Did you ever watch any of those animated Resident Evil movies?
One, a while ago.
They are you gotta be some kind of a fan doofus to
Yeah.
keep up with all these characters and what's doing with that. I'm not into it myself.
Yeah, not me either. Psycho, The Lost Tapes of Ed Gein docuseries coming to MGM Plus in September.
Okay.
It's going to be a 4-episode true crime docuseries. Looks like it's going to be coming... Did I say it was going to be September? Yes.
Yes.
And lastly, the In Search of Darkness crew is releasing a coffee table book.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's
like
actually it's like $90 for this thing. It's pretty impressive. The first 1,000 pre-orders get their name in the book.
Cool.
Yeah, it's $85. Set to come out sometime next year.
Right on. Yeah, I'll probably pick that up. I would like, you know what I would like is just a coffee table book full of 80s horror movie box art. Just something that you just flip through. If that's what they're giving me, you can sign me up right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to feature over 200 films. It'll be a limited edition, numbered. It just says glossy pages.
Okay.
You'd gloss them yourself, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's all that I see that it says for now.
I'm into it.
And that's all I got.
Right on. I got some good news.
Okay.
Terrifier 3 has officially been greenlit.
Nice.
I'm into it. I hope they bring what's-her-name back there.
Yeah.
Laura Lavera, or whatever her
I'm
name
sure
was.
they will.
They freaking well better. No plot details or anything yet, other than it is actually going to happen. King of Screen, Stephen King documentary, gets a summer release in select theaters and VOD. It's time for a round of Do You Give a Shit? Jason Harrell.
No, I do not, Wink.
Okay. There you have it. I'll probably check it out, I'm not... I don't want... he's a very talented writer. He creates these giant, sweeping, interlocking universes. I love him. I love it all. Well, most of it. There's some that are kind of silly. But I don't really care about his high school girlfriend. And if that's what we're going to get into, I don't know.
He's just so douchey. Like, his personality is so douchey.
He's a bit of a wet paper towel, from what I gather,
I would not want to hang out with that guy.
I probably would, just to say that I did it.
Maybe to make fun of his lazy eye.
He does have a lazy eye.
Yeah.
He's not an attractive man, let's be honest. Right on. I'll probably check it out one way or the other. Hey, do you remember a movie on Netflix called Bird Box?
Yeah.
Sequel coming at us. Bird Box Barcelona. It's going to take place at the exact same time as the Sandra Bullock Bird Box.
Okay.
Interesting concept. I feel like it is a slightly dumber version of Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Except you can't look at him.
Yeah.
Quiet Place, you can't make any noise.
I agree.
I'm interested. I'll check it out.
We need Birdemic Box.
Birdemic Box.
Yes.
There you have it. You can't. You don't want to look at it.
You don't.
So just put it in a closet. Forget it's there. What else we got here? Hocus Pocus 3.
Woo.
Also confirmed by Disney+. I still haven't seen the second one.
It was fun.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah. I know Sarah enjoyed it. Good for her. What else we got here? New expansion for Mixtape Massacre coming at us.
Nice.
Time Warp. So I guess you get to go back in time and kill people.
Or is it going to be Rocky Horror Picture
Time
Show
Warp again?
kind of
Quite possibly.
Themed?
Now you got to get in drag to play the game.
Woo!
Shit. I didn't want to do that. I don't remember paying for that. That is all we have on the listener or the horror news, amigo. You ready for some listener mail?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it on. I wonder what's been done to my picture this week.
Listener mail.
Yes, sir. We got emails and voicemails and all kinds of fun stuff. Why don't we start things off with some emails? Are you ready for a blast from the past?
I am.
Are you ready to hear from your old co-host?
Oh, boy.
Irma Gersh.
Nice.
Irma Gersh in the house.
In his house.
Subject line, well. Listen up, goddammit. Been binging some past episodes when, lo and behold, we came across the Velociraptor. He put Velociraptor. I think he meant Velocipaster episode. I don't know. That's all you wanted to say, I guess.
Oh, that's it?
Now, 3 on a meat hook, top 3 horror comedies. I don't remember doing that, but okay. Huge problem here, folks. How in the actual fuck was Blood on the Highway not mentioned?
Oh, my gosh.
By goddamn anyone.
I forgot about his undying love for that damn movie.
Piece of shit movie. Holy fuck, my co-host and myself are absolutely befuddled by this. More importantly, we're very surprised that it didn't make your list of all people, Darian. Nonetheless, albeit super late, here's our top 3. Number 1, Blood on the Highway. Tough to choose between this and our number 2 pick. I'm writing this goddamn thing so I get to make the call. Number 2, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I'll give you that. Number 3, Stitches. You've ever seen Stitches?
No.
Irish, if I'm not mistaken. Clown comes back from the dead, kills a bunch of teenagers at a party. It's got some chuckles.
Sounds like a real Stitch.
It's some funny stuff.
This meat hook actually was April the 4th.
Oh, wow. Okay. He went way back on us.
Yeah.
Well done, Irma Gersh. Honorable mention, Dead Snow and/or Dead Snow 2. Very nice. GP would be very disappointed over the whole Blood on the Highway thing. Shame. Any hoodles, keep up the great work, folks. Hugs and kisses. Gersh and fuckface.
Smooches.
Love you, Irma Gersh and fuckface. Let's see who's up next here. Let's get over to Sydney, Australia. Here comes Team.
G'day, mate.
Subject line, do you want to party? Do you want to have What's up, you bunch of sex demons? Hope everyone is present this week with no drama or sickness or deaths or anything. Let's start with the meat hook. Top 3 parties. Dude, this one is easy. I'm just going to pick up from my favorite films of all time. Number 3, Jaws. The beach party at the start. It's a mellow bonfire party with drugs, I'm sure, and girls who want a skinny dip. That chick at the beginning of Jaws, banging body. You don't really get to see it, but you get to see enough to know that it's there because the boobs are flapping while she's running down the beach.
Yep.
Quietly under, I don't know who the hell she was, but she does not eat a lot of donuts.
Great acting.
I mean, totally, for the 4.5 minutes she's in it. Number 2, The Lost Boys, rockers around the fire who listen to Aerosmith and get attacked by vampires. They look like they were having fun before being bitten in the skull.
Yeah, right before they weren't.
Yeah, that one guy with the skinhead, he got, I don't know, they opened him up like a cantaloupe, which is kind of weird. Number 1, Trick or Treat, the Halloween parade. I would give anything to attend this town's Halloween parade. I'm sure there was slutty girls and drinks galore. That's the thing that pisses me off. I love Trick or Treat. We're going to do it in a couple weeks here. But nowhere, anywhere that I've ever been has a Halloween block party rager like that. I need to find it. I need to go to it.
It looked awesome.
It did look awesome. And that guy was about to get down after the party if, the kid with the burlap bag hadn't showed up. Even with the porno on, which is something. That's something to write home about. Terrordome, not sure if it's starting this week, but I did vote on the Padded Room website, so just in case, put me down for Rawhead Rex. Rose the Hat can't do shit to this heavy metal monster. The Dare. I know I've seen this, but I cannot remember a thing about it, so that says a lot. That's a fair assessment, I'd say, but we'll get more into that. That's it for me, guys. Much love. Oh, before I go, on this week's episode of Dummies for Horror, we are doing Birdemic versus Troll 2, and it reminded me of the mountain lion noise that Darian makes. Arr-arr-arr, arr-arr-arr. Dude, that noise you made me piss myself laugh every time. I think you should say it every episode. Please do it now.
We pretty much
arr-arr-arr. Much love to you all. Tim.
Now that is a battle.
That is the dumbest.
I mean, there is no bigger battle than that one.
I mean, which one do you think is worse or better? That's the real question.
Yeah, I wonder what angle they're going to take with it.
I think if I had to watch one of those two, I think I would pick Troll 2.
Yeah.
Because it's not as heavy. It doesn't take itself that fucking seriously,
Yeah.
You got the kid pissing on the cupcakes. It's just good. It's family fun.
I'll be tuning in.
I will too. Let's see what we got on the voicemail front here, you maniacs. Well, we got one voicemail this week, Jason. It's our main man in Alabama. Alan's in the house.
Alan.
Padded Room, what's up?
What's up,
Hope
Alan?
This comes through all right.
So far, so
Mr.
good.
Darian, are you don't go in the house?
You bet your
I think
sweet
you
ass I
did
am.
that one previously.
I might have.
It's either don't go in the house or don't go in the basement. I've seen it.
Same thing.
But anyway,
Rapist with a
Meat
flamethrower.
Hook, party movies,
Yeah, buddy.
Night of the Demons. What about
That's it. Yeah.
Italian Demons?
That's a
And
movie.
I don't know, man. Return of the Living Dead.
Sure.
Put those together any way you want them.
Okay.
They're awesome, Meat Hooks.
They are.
Anyway, didn't really watch any horror this week. Didn't really feel like it. Watched a bunch of comedies. Trying to find something tonight to watch on Tubi.
Okay.
Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
All right, Alan. Thanks for calling in, buddy. I found my movie, Jason.
I know.
The one with the scene that I was trying to fucking track down. I only had to watch about 400 different cheapo horror
I knew you'd get
anthologies,
there.
but I fucking nailed it. I got it, Jason. Drilled it in.
And it was well worth it.
It was. The fucking thing's only about 6 minutes long, but that's all right. Right on, Alan. I'm gonna enlighten you with something to check out on Tubi later on in the show here. In the meantime, my friend, that's all we got on the listener mail. You got anything for Irma Gersh, Alan, or Tim?
Thanks for calling, writing, all that good stuff.
I should also mention, ladies and gentlemen, that the Terrordome votes are already pouring in over at paddedroompodcast.com.
They are.
I'm going to announce the fight tonight, so We're probably going to do a quick meat hook after the break, and then we'll jump right into this year's Terrordome.
Nice. About time.
About time. I'm ready. I'm fired up. I still am not much of a writer, but I did it anyway, so there's that. In the meantime, my friend, you ready to get into a movie?
Boy, am I ever.
Rawhead Rex, coming at your gay butthole.
What I saw wasn't human.
Oh my God!
It was very tall. And what's more, it saw me. This thing.
Rawhead Rex.
Rawhead Rex, Jason Harrell.
Yeah, boy.
Whoa, daddy. Are you ready for what could be the silliest heavy metal monster you've ever seen in your fucking life?
I sure am.
You know the guy that got kicked out of Gwar?
Yep.
You do now.
This is the guy.
This is the guy. It's Rawhead Rex, you maniacs. 5.2 stars on IMDb. Written by Clive Barker, directed by George Pavlo. Stars David Dukes, Kelly Piper, and Hugh O'Connor. This one's got an R rating. I got one set of boobs, plenty of blood, and some fairly gratuitous explosions and such. I'll say it's worth an R rating. I got a kill count of about 12. But there's a big massacre scene, and I lost track of all the dead cops. So we'll get more into that as the movie goes on.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I guess we'll just jump right in, man. We're going to start off with an American family driving through the Irish countryside. The dad is some kind of a writer, and he's writing a book on Catholic churches that have been erected over pagan sacred sites.
Very niche market.
Very niche. And I don't even know if I'm doing that justice. I could be completely off base here.
Yeah, it's close enough.
That's what I got. That's the gist of what I think I picked up on for that. He's headed to this very small town in Ireland, which I would love to go to Ireland, but it looks so fucking depressing, man. Right?
Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it.
Yeah? You just want to go there and be depressed?
Like, I think I'll finally found people more miserable than me.
That's right. People that really want to do nothing all day long. It's just so drab. I mean, I get it. You have, like, the sprawling hills and, you know, the Irish countryside. Very pretty for about 5 minutes. And then after that, it's just cold and rainy and bleh.
I love it.
Okay, good for you. It looks like a soap commercial to me, but that's fine. Anyway, they're driving to this small town because the dad wants to check out the church there because it was erected on a pagan sacred site. And he's got to he wants to take some pictures of the church. He's already had some correspondence with the priest there. He has agreed to let this guy see his parish records, which apparently has some historic value. So as they're driving to the town, they pass one of the farms in which 3 guys are trying to pull a big pillar out of the ground.
That thing was never in the way before.
I know. You just noticed it?
I mean, you clearly plowed around it.
It's 12 feet tall.
I guess he finally got fed
Sick
up with
of
having
it.
to circle around it.
I get that. It pissed me off, too. But still, it appears to be a 12-foot obelisk that appears to be made out of solid concrete. It's got all kinds of fun carvings on it, like from the days of yore. Looks like something out of a Dungeons & Dragons game.
It did.
Which is fine. They're out there breaking their backs trying to pull this thing up. They got it hooked up to the piece of shit Mitsubishi truck. That's not really doing it. Eventually, 2 of the guys are like, Seamus, you're on your own, don't you know? I'm out of here. So they take off, and they leave the poor guy that I guess lives on this farm to do it himself. Wouldn't you know, all you got to do is get a stick underneath it,
Yeah, and you're good.
pop the thing right out of there. You also need a corresponding thunderstorm to show up, because that's what's really going to get that soil loose around the obelisk. So that's what happens. Big thunderstorm comes rolling in. This guy's so pissed off at the obelisk. He's screaming and punching and kicking it. He gets like I don't know, maybe a car jack or something down under it, and he's trying to wrench it out. And then I think it got struck by lightning. Does that sound right?
All I know is it was electrified. I don't know if by the thunder and lightning or if just from superpowers.
Okay, or just cuz special effects.
Just
because special effects. Basically, a lot of thunder and lightning and stuff, and then the guy goes and he falls down, and then the obelisk explodes, and out pops Rawhead Rex. How best would you describe Rawhead Rex, Jason?
A mohawked Hulk beast, half pig, half Randy Savage.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, more Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
I'll go half pig, half Ultimate Warrior.
Okay. I was going to say if a horse had raped a heavy metal lead singer,
Okay.
And the offspring came out pre-addicted to methamphetamine,
Okay.
you would have Rawhead Rex.
Gotcha.
This thing is just a real treat, I would say. I don't know what Clive Barker had in mind for this monster. I've read the story. It's in the Books of Blood, but I don't remember. It's been a long time, and I don't remember his description of it. But I'm 90% sure this is not what he had in mind at all. This thing basically
But
looks...
didn't he do the screenplay?
He did, but like budgetarily, he had no control over the monster itself or the aesthetic of it.
Okay. Let's sidestep here for a second.
Sure.
Money and visuals aside, is this still even a good story? It's pretty lacking.
If you read the story that it's adapted from, it's basically this. Okay, so it's written in the Clive Barker style,
But he wrote the screenplay.
right?
So I don't care about the story that he wrote.
All right.
I care about the screenplay.
The screenplay.
The thing that produced this film.
It is a monster on a rampage in a small town.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I mean,
So it was one page long.
I probably just read you the screenplay. Monster on a rampage, rural Ireland. Figure the rest out. The rest was all improvised.
This thing did not look good.
It did not.
His boots are terrible.
The boots. Why is he wearing boots?
Why is he wearing half of the shit he's wearing?
How does he have teased hair? Can he close his mouth? I don't think he can. I think his teeth are too big. I don't know. He's got all kinds of fun superpowers, though. That's fun. That's pretty cool.
I like the visuals of his red eyes.
Yeah, and he can hypnotize you and make you one of his slaves by doing that.
Only if he pisses on you.
Yeah, well, you got to pee on him first. You got to mark your territory. So out comes the monster. Okay, now we're just going to put that on the side burner there for a minute because we got to get into some family drama here, Jason. Our American family is touched down there at the small Irish village. Dad makes his approach to the church, gets in there, starts looking around, immediately gets accosted by the side priest. I don't know what
the side priest.
The priest henchman, I think is what it is. His name is Declan, and he's a real fuckface. I guess I would be too. You know what I mean? The Irish people take their Catholicism very seriously. There's not a lot of room for humor or smiling or really anything other than feeling guilty and borderline alcoholism, I would say.
Sign me up.
I mean,
Ireland sounds delightful.
It's just a wonderland, Jason. So Declan is being a kind of a dick to the dad. Hey, why don't you go find the real priest? I'm sure, whatever, because I don't want you poking around here, you fucking outsider. So he's like, fine, God, don't be a dick. Goes and finds the real priest. Real priest is like, yeah, don't worry about Declan. He just, he's just an angry person, and nobody's pious enough for him, as if you ask him. So the dad kind of gets settled in. Problem. The real priest cannot find the parish records.
Damn it.
What the fuck happened to him? He's like,
What are the odds?
Hang out for a couple of days, get yourself a room, and I'm going to see what I can do. There's a reliquary underneath the church, and he's going to get down there and start looking around for stuff. Very cool. While Dad is looking around in the church, he notices some of the stained glass windows. They look like Danzig metal art covers, right?
Do,
like album covers from a Danzig album. One of them's got what is clearly Rawhead Rex getting stepped on by a guy holding something up in the air. You can't really make out what it is.
An electric guitar.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was Danzig, man. Danzig knows how to handle Rawhead Rex. So that's kind of fun, and we already know where this is going, so we can put the pieces together. From there, they get checked into the inn, which sits right above the pub. Did you catch the name of the pub?
I did, but I can't remember what it was.
The Tall Man.
That's right.
It's the Tall Man.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool name for a pub.
It was.
If I was going to open a horror-themed bar, I mean, the go-to would probably be the Slaughtered Lamb.
Right.
But I think I would want to call it the Nostromo. That's a good one. But then I feel like I'd be locked into like a sci-fi theme if I called it that. I don't know. I'd have to put some more thought into it.
You keep thinking about it.
I'm going to do
I
that.
can see the wheels are in motion.
They are already in motion. And now I'm going to flip them in
this will
reverse.
be for your porno theater / bar that you want to open.
Which was a great idea, by the way. Once I get rid of the glory holes, we'll be up and running. Anyway, so now we get some family drama. The mom doesn't really want to be there. She's all pissed off. And for some reason, she's like getting all dolled up just to go to bed. Did you notice that?
No.
She's got her nightgown on. Everybody's getting ready for bed. And all of a sudden, she's like teasing her hair and putting makeup on.
I was too busy. That's when she was putting on the lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of lipsticks for
just
bedtime.
to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's all about.
What a very inconsistent relationship.
Yeah.
They can go from jokey, loving to her just being a
bitch.
man.
Yeah.
Like a monstrous bitch.
I get it. I would probably be a little snatchy, too, if my wife were dragging me around to all these boring-ass small towns in dreary old Ireland. You know, I can only stay drunk for so long. At a certain point, I'm going to want either a blowjob.
I've witnessed it. You're true. You're right.
You know, I'm going to want a blowjob or like a nice BLT. Or maybe both.
One or the other.
You want to get on my good side, you give me both.
A BJT.
PJLT. Anyway, it's kind of weird. And now she's making a big stink about she wants to go home. Kids are kind of being dickheads, too. There's a little boy and a little girl. They're both bored out of their mind. Of course they are. It's a small town in Ireland. There's nothing to do. Regardless, the dad wants to hang out for a couple of days and see if he can get his hands on these parish records. Okay. Now it's time to cut to Rawhead time.
Ooh, boy.
We start off kind of in Michael Myers territory, or I guess more Evil Dead territory, with just a camera whipping around this little village shanty shack area. Kind of, I get what it's supposed to be from Rawhead's point of view. Mm-hmm. We have a young couple that this whole town is basically a loose connection of trailers, shanties, caravans, lean-tos, couple of Quonset huts, and like one bar that sits right in the middle of it that has a couple of rooms.
They have
above.
more vehicles than they have homes.
Weird vehicles, too. Is it like half-truck things? Where do you even buy something like that, Like a weird kind of jalopy kind of a deal?
Same lot you get those caravans.
I guess so, man. They got some weird vehicles in Ireland.
I do it for a caravan.
Periwinkle blue. Okay, there's a young couple that lives in this weird kind of trash compound. I am sorry. I don't know what else to call it. It looks like 5 yard sales were happening at the same time, and then two of the people that ran the yard sales got into a fight, and now there's just shit everywhere.
Jeez, you're describing like my dream come true.
I am sorry. Ireland is calling your name, Jason Harrell.
Perpetual yard sales and trailer parks.
But it rains on every single fucking Thursday, and it's just going to soak the whole shit. Regardless, here comes Rawhead. He's like running around. The guy that lives there, his girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever, is pregnant. Rawhead comes in, basically trashes the place, kills the guy using his razor claws, because Rawhead has razor claws. And then
retractable.
Well, by retractable, like an eighth of an inch out and back in.
A very minuscule amount.
I mean, I don't know what the point of pulling him back in is.
Rawhead really hates flour, too.
He doesn't like flour.
He does not like condiments.
He doesn't
cooking
like
utensils.
kitchens. He despises fucking kitchens.
He does.
He goes in there. He kills the guy out in the weird mud puddle in front of the house. Chases the pregnant young lady all up and down and through, and really trashes this place. At first, we're led to believe that he's going to kill the pregnant young lady, but then instead he does like a jazz hand thing over her pregnant belly, and then from there we cut to somewhere else. Yeah. A couple hours later, one of the neighbors comes by, sees the place is trash, goes upstairs, finds the pregnant young lady still alive, but in a weird catatonic state. Can't find the husband anywhere, but there's blood all over the place. Cops get called. We get to meet the cops that, I guess, police this area, and they're going to do an investigation. They can't talk to the young lady because she's completely catatonic, and she's just like cackling like a mad woman. Trying to find out what happened to the dad. Now, at this point, we're going to cut to the neighborhood trailer park, which is like 5 trailers loosely parked in the same patch of woods. And one of these trailers is apparently the makeout spot. So we've got a young man and his girlfriend trying to get down in one of these trailers. Kid brother is there. They're supposed to be watching him.
He's, 18 inches away?
Yeah. These trailers are tiny, dude.
They are.
You're not having sex with nobody in those things. Naturally, they do the responsible thing and say, hey, let's go fuck out in the woods away from the kid brother here. They get out there. They get moseying around. Now we're going to cut back to Rawhead, who apparently is dragging this dead boyfriend just all about the town. He's putting some miles on this guy. I don't know what the purpose of this was, but he hangs him up, like upside down, and then leaves him there. And then our horny couple happens upon the dead guy hanging upside down from the tree. Oh, shit, let's get the fuck out of here. They go running back. The boyfriend gets his hand cut off, and then the girl makes it back carrying the boyfriend's severed hand, like, oh, come on, we gotta go. And then she makes it back to the trailer park where the trailer park posse is now riled up. Oh, there's something in the woods. We gotta get out there. That's a terrible Irish accent. I apologize.
I will say that's going to be our rap group name, though. Trailer Park Posse.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I love it. But this isn't like this is like a bunch of old men, a lot of tweed sweaters, which I believe you are issued once you set down in Ireland.
Yeah.
Here's your tweed sweater, you young man.
It's like getting a lei in Hawaii.
Yeah, no, you get tweed and, I don't know, probably
some whiskey.
Yeah, there's got to be something, some kind of booze that they hand you. But they get all their shotguns and stuff together, and now they're like having a little powwow inside one of the trailers. Like, what do we do? Do we call the cops? Rawhead comes out and starts attacking the trailers. And he's putting a pretty good ass kicking on these. He's knocking them over. Naturally, one chick gets pulled out of the roof, and her top comes off as she's getting pulled out of the roof. Well done. Thank you for including some boobies. Kills like 5 or 6 guys while that's happening. Now, our American family is checked in for the night, and they're trying to get some sleep, but they see all the cop cars going towards the trailer park. So Dad is like, well, I'm an American. I better go put my face where it doesn't belong. Let me just go investigate for myself. So he goes running out there. The cops are like, hey, buddy, you're an outsider in this village. We're going to hold you for questioning. So why don't you just come down to the station with us? The police station, by the way, about the size of my bathroom. That was
twice the size of the caravans.
Yeah, easily. I don't know how you fit a desk in that place. And people are just bumping into each other. There's like 15 guys trying to get in and out of there. It's stupid. Build some buildings, Ireland. You got wood and trees and stuff. Plenty of room over there, from what I gather. Anyway, Dad goes in there and he's like, hey, I've been thinking about these pagan sites, and I think maybe something's out here running around killing people and stuff. And the cops are like, oh, you're crazy Americans. You think you know everything. This isn't some kind of superstitious thing. This is some lunatic with some fucking claw mechanism or something. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of this ourselves. Dad's like, okay, all right, no problem. Goes back to his pub hotel, wakes up the next morning. He's like, you know what? All right, let's get the fuck out of here. This is getting too weird. So he packs the kids up in the kind of hot and cold mom and puts them in the bizarre little Mini Coupe car, and they take off down the Irish countryside. They get about 20 minutes outside of town, and the daughter has to pee. Now, I'm all for peeing on the side of the road. I've done it many times. You get out, you find the first bush, and you pee on it. Instead, they want to like hoist her over a wall onto somebody's property, take off like a quarter mile down the road to the first bush, and then pee on that one.
You see that one very described bush way over there?
Look about 2 clicks off to the horizon. They do that. The dad goes with him, with the daughter. Dad's like poking around. Okay, here you go. He's got to do that. She's peeing. She finds a dead rabbit and screams, which of course causes mom to freak out. So now mom and dad creep through the wall to go get the daughter. And that's when Rawhead pops out and grabs the son. Now, Dad sees the commotion going on back at the car, so he runs up to the gate of this property, or whatever it is, and doesn't really make an attempt to stop Rawhead. He just gets to the gate and does a, no! And then you don't really see what happened to the kid. You just see Rawhead's big, stupid horse head come up from behind the car, and now there's blood all over it, and he's like, oh, Wilbur.
Oh, Rawhead.
I'm sorry I killed your son. And then the dad, Rawhead takes off. The dad finally manages to pull himself together enough to get to where the kid was, and all you see is like a bloody comic book and one shoe.
Yeah.
So we have to assume that the kid is dead because we're never going to see him again for the rest of the movie.
I really thought that I didn't think they'd kill him off. I figured he'd resurface it later, hanging from a tree
or some
barely alive,
sacrificial chamber that Rawhead.
No, it looks like he died.
He killed the kid, so good for you. At least he didn't pull any punches there, Clive. Good for you. So now Dad is all pissed off. They go hauling ass back to the town, and now Dad's getting in all the cops' faces. What are you going to do about my son? I told you this fucking thing was loose and blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, just take it easy there, Mr. American. Dad finally goes back to the church, and he's like, look, I know what I saw, and now he's looking at the stained glass windows, recognizing Rawhead that is now the thing that he saw on the windows is the horsehead face that killed his son. So he's like, that's the fucking thing that killed my son. I need to get into the reliquary and look at the parish records and get to the bottom of this. Now, while all this was going on, Declan, the dickhead priest, at some point just put his hand on the altar there at the church, which gave off like a sudden red glow, and basically turned Declan into Rawhead's crazy-ass minion.
Yep, he was all in.
He just went all in. I think what we're supposed to...
Took off his collar and everything.
He said, to hell with this shit, but I'm still going to hang around the church because I got nowhere else to go in this shitty town. But he's now like Rawhead's faithful minion, and I think what we're supposed to understand is that in that weird flash of red screen... He got all of the knowledge of what Rawhead was and where he came from, all just suddenly downloaded to him, and now he's on Team Rawhead and no more Team Jesus. So, good for you, Declan, you fucking traitor.
Yeah, way to stand your ground with your faith there, buddy.
All we need to do is flash a red light at you, and you're
all in.
You're all in on whatever we're up to. So now, he was a dickhead before, now he's like a full-on psycho, and he's basically just running around throwing shit around the church.
A lot of cackling.
Crazy fucking guy. Reminded me of the psycho from the old dark house. The cousin that they kept locked up in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't want him to light the house on fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's running around like a maniac. Dad gets over there. Declan, like, smashes a bunch of his recording equipment, and then Dad's like, you know what? I'm going to kick your ass. Some other time, though. And then he walks off, and he gets down to the reliquary, where the real priest is there waiting for him. He's like, hey, this is the stuff. I still can't find the parish records, but here's what I did find. He's got like a, I guess it's some kind of an idol, like a stone carving. I thought it looked like a big vagina. It's like it kind of looked like a bowling pin with a vagina cut into it.
I thought he pulled that out of the. I thought that was.
Oh, that's
later.
right. That was in the
pulled,
altar.
Yes.
Yeah, because what you find out, and this is where Declan got his sudden download. You put your hand on that thing. When you take the cloth off it, you realize it's all carved. It's like this an ornate altar. I think too, Rawhead, right? It's got like.
Yeah, I didn't see anything specific on it. It just looked like just kind of an ornate piece of furniture to me.
It
looked like a trunk.
Okay, well, I guess you can pray on it or whatever you want to do. Opens it up, and there's this weird vagina bowling pin looking thing.
Yeah.
So
it did kind of have a what looked like a vagina on it, though.
I think so. Yeah. So Dad's there, and he starts looking. He recognizes that as the thing that the guy in the stained glass window was holding when he was stepping on Rawhead.
Not an electric guitar.
Not an electric guitar, actually. Bowling pin vagina.
Yes.
That's the item you want. I'm sure Glenn Danzig has a bowling pin vagina somewhere in his palatial estate. Dad's like, well, I got this fucking thing. Now I'm ready to do battle with Rawhead. Rawhead shows up, pees all over Declan. Not sure why we needed that.
I think because later on, or at some point, there is a sentence where the Declan tells the guy, he's like, he wants to baptize you.
Yeah.
So I consider that like
the
worst baptism ever.
Yeah, I don't.
It was a mighty stream.
He's well hydrated.
Yeah.
He must have found himself a keg of beer or something because he was hanging and he was having a hell of a time.
To go with your horse face thing, he was pissing like a racehorse.
He was. He's not a racehorse though. He's more of a Clydesdale, I think.
Yeah, he was.
He unloads all over Declan. Declan's having a great time getting peed on, by the way. He's like, yeah, give it to me, Daddy. Woohoo! Dad sees that and he's like, ah, shit. Rawhead gets in. He starts chasing Dad around the church. Now, I should mention that before this, there was a weird encounter out in the woods while the cops were looking for the kid. The main police captain was out there looking, and Rawhead grabbed him and gave him the two red eyes, like staring at him, and then he just let the captain go. But after that, the captain was like, he's now also on Team Rawhead. Mm-hmm. So we're back at the church. Rawhead is chasing Dad around. Dad can't figure out how to use the bowling pin vagina, so he's just like, hey, get out of here. I'll fucking... just look at this
I'm going to hoist this in the air.
You don't want me stepping on you while I hold this, because look at that window. Remember the window? Yeah, you don't want that, so fuck off. Rawhead doesn't give a shit. He's kicking the crap out of Dad. He's smashing the church all up. While that's going on, luckily, the real police show up and surround the church. They're thinking, okay, we got the horse demon in there. As soon as he comes out of there, we're going to unload on his ass and put him back in the underneath the obelisk thing or whatever it was. Big fight. The real priest gets like thrown through a wall and smashes into a tombstone out in the cemetery. Cops have the place surrounded. Rawhead comes out. Just before the cops are about to unload on him, the crazy police captain goes and empties a bunch of gas canisters on the hill so that the gas rolls underneath all the police vehicles and then lights them up, causing a massive explosion and basically spit roasts all the cops that were on the firing line.
Boy, the visuals for this thing.
I know, a lot of...
You could see like all the fire retardant gear on their hands and their face and stuff.
Of course. And the police captain, the one that went crazy over Rawhead, goes running through the flames, and he's like, all for you! All for you! And you can see, like, he's got a helmet on to protect him from the flames. But that's fine. They did put a wig on top of the helmet.
Yeah,
so.
it was all good.
Yeah, it's, points for effort. All the cops in the whole town are now dead and or grievously injured to the point where they're useless. Dad still has the bowling pin. He's running through the cemetery. Rawhead's chasing him. Apparently, he wants the bowling pin also. The ass-kicking of the dad continues as he's being thrown about and slashed at, and the retractable fingernails come out, and they claw at him some more. Eventually, Mom rolls up on the scene, and just before Dad is about to get his final beatdown, she grabs the bowling pin vagina and hoists it in the air, and then we get a laser light show. pew, 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 and then all these laser
It
bolts.
was like a scene out of Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, sure. That is a deep dive right there, my friend.
Thanks.
You went all the way back to 1982. Pew, 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 and then Rawhead, like, starts spinning around and, like, I assume he's screaming in pain. He's just making more horse noises, really. And then he falls down and, like, the ground underneath him collapses into a crypt underneath. And then a bunch of debris falls on top of the crypt.
Including the vagina.
You throw that in there also, because apparently he can't get out if the vagina's on top of him, I think. I'm sure there's some kind of phallic representation that's supposed to be going on here. I can't say for sure. I'm not smart enough to figure that stuff out. And that's pretty much the end of Rawhead Rex. We cut to a couple of days later. The cockblocker kid from the trailer park, is paying respects to his dead brother who was just trying to get his dick sucked out in the woods. And in classic Carrie fashion, the horse head pops out of the ground at the last second.
So terrible.
And that's the end of your movie there. Jason,
Yeah, I think it actually was a vagina on the bowling pin because he did say it had to be a woman.
Yeah, so I think there is some actual, not just me being a pervo, but
Right.
there was some kind of imagery or phallic representation there.
Yeah.
There you have it. What'd you think of Rawhead Rex, big guy?
It's not very good.
It's not. But
There was this one insanely laughable scene where Rawhead is just trotting his ass into the woods, and his mask was like slipped back a little bit.
Oh, no.
So it looked like he's just staring at the moon the whole time he's just galloping through the forest.
Yeah.
And the fact that the mouth had no mechanics to it whatsoever. The costuming, ridiculous. Those fucking terrible boots. I mean, other than the eyes, I mean, that hair. What is up with the hair?
It's very 1986. It's very,
And if this creature goes back to like apparently pre-Catholic days,
yeah. Why would he be wearing boots?
why would he be named Rawhead?
That's
What
never
kind
explained.
of ridiculous name is that?
I don't know.
And even if it's Rawhead, why Rawhead Rex?
I don't think.
I don't even think they mentioned
I was
Rex.
going to say I don't think Rex is ever mentioned in the movie.
It's not good. It's I mean, it's worth watching once just because I have seen between posters and Blu-rays and steelbooks, I have seen the visual
Yeah.
thousands of times.
Sure.
Never seen the movie.
Now
I now
Check
can
that
say
box.
I've done it and never to be done again. I'm really glad I didn't get a good deal on the steelbook.
I went ahead and picked up the Blu-ray.
I see it laying there.
There it is. At this point, is it good? Is it a good movie? No. Is it scary? Absolutely not. Is it? I would call it a fun movie to watch just because of the over-the-top ridiculousness of the monster.
Yeah.
You're basically looking at an I almost said NAACP, NCAA mascot.
Yeah.
You know, he could be running up and down the sidelines of a football
Yeah, you
game.
really could.
It's ridiculous, man. And like that scene you mentioned of where the mask was slowly. There's other scenes where he's chasing the pregnant lady around, and the head is wobbling back and forth because it's not situated correctly.
Not at all.
It's just ridiculous, buddy. But I think I'm not going to say it's a good movie. I'm going to say it's worth checking out just because of the ridiculous creature effects.
Honestly, I could be just fine with the visuals.
Sure.
I really could. I really feel that where this whole movie is lacking is this story is stupid. Like I really think they could have fleshed this out a lot better.
I remember next to nothing of the story other than that I did in fact read it. I know it has a lot to do with Catholicism and fucking deities that were trampled over by Christianity, really, as it swept through Northern Europe. But I don't think that anything. I mean, once this fucking thing gets loose from underneath its obelisk, it basically sets about raping the entire town. You know, it's going to kill everybody. It's going to fuck and piss all over everything that you. It's just there to. It's just chaos incarnate, is what it is, and it's there to wreck everything. Trying to contain it or encapsulate it or negotiate it back into the ground or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. It's a very crisis-driven story, so there's not a lot of time for character development or anything like that. You've got the atomic bomb. It just went off. I don't care if you're cheating on your wife or not. We have to unring that bell somehow.
Right.
It's silly. It's a silly fucking movie, inmates.
It's not terrible.
I would say it's not a good movie, but it is almost comedic with its fucking monster. Yeah. I would say that's the best way that I can put it.
It really. I mean, his attire is just completely metal. Totally, man. If he actually did have a guitar, there would be groupies lined up around the block. Absolutely.
And he's got a big dick too.
With that piss stream.
Fucking A.
Fuck yeah.
He's going to knock over a fucking lamppost.
The horse dick.
Raw Dick Rex.
Raw Dick Rex, your asshole.
Oh, no. All right, Jason, let's take us a little break here, shall we?
We shall.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time.
I'm hearing voices in my head, there's no way to escape. Da-da-da-da, they got me. Anytime, anywhere, my mind in the air. Da-da-da-da, surround me. They surround me. Surround me. Anytime, anywhere, my mind in the air. They're waiting for me. They're calling on me.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time.
Surround me.
Yeah, we cool, yeah, we drunk, lost my mind, and baby, I feel high. I feel high.
They're calling on me.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time.
Surround me.
Yeah, we cool, yeah, we drunk, lost my mind, and baby, I feel high. I feel high.
They're calling on me. I'm hearing voices in my head, there's no way to escape. Da-da-da-da, they got me. Anytime, anywhere, my mind in the air. Da-da-da-da, surround me.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time. Yeah, we cool, yeah, we drunk, lost my mind, and baby, I feel high. I feel high.
They surround me. Surround me. Anytime, anywhere, my mind in the air. They're waiting for me. They're calling on me.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time.
Surround me.
Yeah, we cool, yeah, we drunk, lost my mind, and baby, I feel high. I feel high.
They're calling on me.
Lay low, hit the sun, everybody have a real good time. Real good time.
Surround me.
Yeah, we cool, yeah, we drunk, lost my mind, and baby, I feel high. I feel high.
They're calling on me.
Hey inmates, if you like what you hear, head over to the Terrordome Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at terrordome.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, Jason Harrell.
Yep.
Whoa, Daddy. I tell you what, though, my friend.
Tell me.
I would not want to run afoul of Rawhead Rex.
No?
No. He can fuck some shit up.
He can.
Ridiculousness of the creature effects withstanding. Like, if I had a better, like a CGI version of Rawhead Rex, I don't want to run afoul of that guy. No way.
I don't know. Not very intimidating.
You don't think so? Even with the big horse teeth?
Who am I kidding? I'm a pussy.
Speaking of ridiculous monsters, you ready to get into this week's meat hook, my friend?
You bet.
3 on a meat hook.
This week's meat hook. Top 3 most ridiculous monsters in a horror movie. Jason, there's a lot of criteria that this could meet.
Yeah.
Stupid movies. Monsters that just have no purpose at all whatsoever. Dumb-looking monsters. Monsters that are there seemingly for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
You tell me. Hit me with number 3 when you're ready.
My number 3, and you're right, there's a lot of different criteria that could hit this meat hook.
Sure.
My number 3, the werewolf from Silver Bullet.
Okay.
Because there are way dumber looking creatures out there.
Okay.
But the fact that this is dumb looking and it's supposed to be a werewolf in a probably reasonably budgeted movie where everything else is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And pretty damn solid. But that fucking teddy bear is so absurd.
Yeah.
I just don't know what in the hell everybody was thinking.
Yeah.
Unless that was the intent. And if that was intent, it's twice as offensive.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's the downfall, I feel like, of every werewolf movie. It's really hard to show the wolf or the transformation. You want to because it's pivotal to the story, and you want to be scared of this big beast that's running around. But if you do it wrong, man...
You just want to hug this thing.
If you do it wrong... I felt the same way about Lon Chaney Jr., I mean, when he wolfed out, he basically looked like a teddy bear to me with a bad,
Right.
They had like the pompadour haircut and then like a big beard and get out of here with that, I agree with you.
So that's how it hits my ranking, just because to me it's a little offensive. I think they really just could have done better.
Okay.
It's like they copped out.
Sure.
So that's why it's absurd.
Okay. Mine is going to be along a similar track. It's a movie from 1953 called The Robot Monster.
Okay.
What you have here is an alien invasion, and the aliens are guys wearing ape suits that have fish bowls on their heads.
Very good.
No real... the only thing that I could come up with is I guess the director got a deal on ape suits and fish bowls. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's never explained in the movie why they look like this or where they all speak English and are actually very articulate, like when they're making their threats. Your punishment will be worse than you could ever imagine. It's an ape with a fishbowl on its head. You know what I mean? I get it. It's 1953, and, really you could scare the crap out of the local teeny boppers with a scream from behind a closed door.
Yeah, you could.
Maybe we should keep it behind the closed door. If that's what you're bringing to the table is an ape suit with a fishbowl, let's maybe do a less is more approach.
It seemed like the fishbowl head kind of look was very prominent around that time with outer space things.
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, your spaceman always had to have like a respirator situation.
Two little
antennas that came out that allowed him to contact somebody. I don't know. That's my number 3, man. How about number 2?
I like it. My number 2, the Hungry Beast from Terror Vision.
I should have seen that one coming.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I mean that is thing that
I have a fondness.
I know
to this movie.
I know you do.
But that monster is retarded.
Yeah,
completely retarded.
It's like somebody started sculpting a monster and then it like fell off the shelf and like we didn't have time to fix it, so we just slapped some eyeballs on there.
Put a big eye up here.
There you go.
All right, we're good.
Yep. We don't have time to fix it. I'm sorry. All right. I said I was sorry. Just get it out there.
Needs more Jello on the mouth.
Make it more frothy. Mine is my number 2 is also very similar. I'm going with Belial from Basket Case.
Nice.
It's a big wart. It's a wart. You understand that?
Yeah.
I get it. It took on its own personality. You've seen Basket Case, right?
Oh yeah.
That ridiculous stop motion animation sequence where he gets out of the basket and wrecks the hotel room. Okay.
What was that, working at about 1 frame per second?
Yeah. It was like beep boop 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 beep bah, 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 bah. Beep boop boop bop bah, 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 bah.
And then when in the sequels when he starts fucking, I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
He goes to town. And
Well-
then they throw him in a robot suit.
Yeah, and he's got a bunch of cousins that are also a bunch of weird skin tags or whatever they are. I don't understand. I mean, I get it. Like, half of Belial's power or whatever is that he controls his brother and basically, like, convinces his brother to do terrible things to protect Belial. But Belial's a piece of shit, and he's evil, and he's got the claws and all that stuff. Really, somebody just stomp on it. You know? Just kick it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Done. Problem solved. That's my number 2. How about number 1?
My number 1, Belial from Basket Case.
Oh, there you have it, buddy.
At first, I had Belial as number 2, but
Okay.
after looking at a picture of him again, I'm like, this thing is like gray mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a small blob
Yeah.
of mashed potatoes.
Pretty
He's
much.
worthless. He's got no fucking skills.
No.
He does drive one good robot suit, though.
Yeah. It's as if somebody had started like putting together one of those real sex dolls, but left it in the cooker for too long. That's what came.
What do we do with
crawling
this
out.
thing?
Well, I'm not.
I don't
gonna
know,
fuck
but
it.
I'm fucking it.
I'm not fucking that. Yeah, man. I don't understand it. The movie is titled Basket Case. If that's what it is, keep it in the fucking basket.
Please keep it in the basket.
Carrying around a basket with something growling and snapping at you, that's scary enough,
Yeah.
you know? And give me like a claw that comes out or
Yep.
like some glowing eyes.
That's all you need.
Don't let it out of the basket. Again, less is more, you know? My number 1 is a movie from 1961, equally as ridiculous. In hindsight, I now realize this was supposed to be a comedy. It's called Creature from the Haunted Sea.
Okay.
You basically have a ship that's lost at sea. It kind of rolls into this island area, and this creature inhabits it. It basically looks like a giant turd with 2 big googly eyes at the top of it.
Nice.
And it kind of, now that I think about it, it kind of looks like Grimace.
Or like Sigmund, the sea monster from... you remember that old...
Yeah, the old...
weekend cartoon...
Hanna-Barbera.
Type of deal?
Yeah.
Or live action.
Yeah, but if I remember right, Sigmund had like tentacles.
Yeah, he has some tentacles.
Yeah, this thing has like flippers. I guess they're more like flippers.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture of it for you.
Ooh,
I'll post this
boy.
to the...
While you pull up that picture, I'll tell you what Sarah has
Oh,
to
yeah,
say.
I'd love to hear it.
Her number 3, the whatever you want to call it, from Malignant.
Okay, that's pretty silly.
She said it was so random and weird, and it definitely was random, and it definitely was weird.
Yeah.
Her number 2, Velocipaster.
Oh, you mean she didn't like the blow-up costume?
And her number 1 are all of the birds from Birdemic.
Yeah, I get that. Take a gander at this thing, Jason.
Oh, wow.
That's what's chasing
Those
you
are some
around
googly eyes.
the haunted sea right there.
That thing looks like a doofus.
Yeah, that is a doofus.
That is a doofus.
And I mean, really, if you push it over, it's not going to be able to get back up. So that kind of takes care of that. That's what our meat hook for the week is, inmates. It's top 3 most ridiculous horror movie monsters. Let us know, mail at paddedroompodcast.com, or you just hit the contact link there, or you get us on the mental health hotline, area code 775-387-0275. But now, Jason,
Yep.
it is time for us to start the 2023 special one-off Terrordome. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. My worst dream come true.
6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, the blackish eyes, the devil's eyes.
Welcome to the Terrordome.
So we're doing this a little bit different this time, inmates. The formula is going to be the same. Call in, write in to get your votes. Those votes will count as 2 votes. Mine, Jason, Buddy's, our votes will count as 1. Or if you don't have time to write or call in, you just want to hit the link, at the Terrordome link there at paddedroompodcast.com. It'll take you to the bracket. Any votes made over there are going to count as 1 vote. And we're going to start it off right now in the Asylum Conference, inmates. As usual, bear with me, I am not much of a writer. It was over. The knot had been undone. The Torrance boy, along with the restless souls of the Overlook, had seen to it. The true knot had cycled out, and she was barely alive. She needed steam, and she needed it fast. She needed pain, despair, anguish. She needed sustenance, and she couldn't get it anywhere in North America, or Danny would be back to finish the job he started. So she fled. Rose is drawn to a small town on the Irish coast. Great waves of steam radiate out from it as though some terrible tragedy were playing itself out in slow motion. Within the village itself, an ancient evil has awoken. A great beast from before civilization had been unearthed and was awake to take its revenge. In days gone by, it was known as Rawhead, but now it would be known as a conqueror. In singles competition, Jason, we have Rawhead Rex versus Rose the Hat. What do you think?
I'm going Rose.
I'm going Rose also. I like Rawhead Rex. I think he could kill any normal dude, like just any psycho, like a Frank Zito he could take. I don't know.
He could take out a lot of people.
He could. But against
if she gets a hold of that vagina bowling pin,
she's really going to fuck him up.
She is a lady.
But more to the point, given her prowess, I think she can get inside his head and like kind of steer him, and probably steer his ass right back into that hole in the ground and keep him there. That's how I would see it playing.
She'll find steam with him.
Oh yeah,
coming right off of that piss stream.
And if everybody, that's not the kind of steam she's looking for, sir. The steam smells like pneumonia. But like with all the damage that he would do around the village, everybody's going to be sad. So she's going to get full powered up, and then she can really take the fight to him, I think.
Yeah, I think as long as she can get the upper hand on him physically, I think she's set.
I agree. That is your Terrordome match for the weekend, mates. It's Rawhead Rex versus Rose the Hat. Get us your votes by next week if you can. In the meantime, we need to tell you what movies we got to watch this week, Jason. Little segment called What Are You Looking At?
What are you looking at?
Yes, sir, Jason Harrell. Last week you gifted me Linnea Quigley's horror workout from 1990. And I sat through all hour and 7 minutes of it.
And gave yourself a nice right-wristed workout.
You could, in 1990, easily squeeze one out to this. There is, I mean, even before the opening credits, we get a 4-minute sequence of Linnea Quigley taking a shower.
No.
No rhyme or reason.
Okay.
She's just in the shower, and she is fully sudsed, and just ass and boobs. And, doing with the hair. And
you're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I will say she looks really good in this.
Yeah, good.
There is like a loose plot line. Like, she goes for a jog through a cemetery, and then the zombies come up and they chase her to a poolside situation.
Is it actually a workout video?
So that's what it is. So then once all the zombies get her to the poolside thing, then they jump into this choreographed workout session.
Okay.
Where she's going to cardio-vise the zombies somehow. And then she invites a bunch of friends over, and they do a little workout, and then a slasher type of thing shows up and starts killing off the friends. There is a very loose plot line.
I love my zombies and leg warmers.
There you have it, buddy. But really, all you're getting, that's about it as far as the workout video.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're just looking at, like, probably a good 25 minutes of just clips from her different movies.
Oh, okay.
You might remember me getting impaled on some deer antlers, and here comes a bunch of clips from Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I really thought it was more of a workout video, an instructional, with like where all the other like cast members would be zombies and shit like that.
No.
Not at all.
Not really.
Okay.
You could tell that this was made with beating off in mind.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like her bending over.
Yeah.
And a lot of her doing the splits.
Well, bless her.
God bless her for doing it. You know what I mean? It's something. It's something to see. I watched that, and then I found my movie. The one that I was trying to track down.
Yeah.
So it's a horror anthology. The sequence that I was talking about was the one with the corpse that was slowly moving towards the guy during his dinner date with it. I found it. It's a movie called No Sleep, Fragments of Horror from 2021. Found this one streaming on Tubi. All the segments are like a minute and a half to 2 minutes long. Oh, wow. I think the longest one is like 14 minutes. So they packed like 25 of these things in this hour and a half movie. There's actually some pretty good ones in there. Low budget as shit, but a lot of stuff with like FaceTime and Zoom, things like that. Pretty good, all things considered.
Nice.
That's all I'm looking at, big guy. What do you got?
I am just glad you found your movie.
Me too, dude. I put some effort into that.
Let's see. Since I just finally got the Steelbook, had to rewatch Maximum Overdrive.
Attaboy.
Sarah's first viewing of this, Jim, and I gotta tell you, this movie is stupid.
I told you that.
But again,
okay.
It's one of the more enjoyable stupid movies out there.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous.
Hell yeah!
Conceptually, this movie makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Nope. Like I can get behind the root premise of what's going on. Mm-hmm. But like the end game, what's the vehicle's end game?
Well, I think it was to get gas to start with.
Okay.
And then after that, it was just kill everybody.
I guess they thought they would live forever, they would
inherit the planet.
If they would quit circling the wagons,
then you would not.
You wouldn't
waste
need so
your
much
gas. Yeah.
Apparently, it's the only gas station because they're backed up for 200 miles to go to this place.
Yeah.
Certain vehicles and pieces of equipment have mechanics.
Sure.
They can actually do things.
Right.
Even the vending machine has some mechanics to it. A hairdryer has no mechanics. It has no skeletal system.
Right.
There's no way it can wrap around your neck.
That's dumb. Yeah.
A lot of it is dumb.
I'm not arguing with you.
Just a banging ass soundtrack, though.
Sure, AC/DC.
Lots of laughable moments.
I think that
still give it a 5 out of 10. It's something that's pleasurable to watch.
There's a couple of things that struck me as remarkably dumb, even as a kid watching it. Number one, Emilio getting into that chest bumping thing with the Mack truck. That was dumb. The part at the end where the goblin truck sneaks up on everybody.
I didn't know that was 2 feet behind.
Oh, Jesus! Seriously? The steamroller, which was a pretty cool sequence, but the thing was moving at like
75 miles an hour?
A half mile an hour at most. My grandmother could get out of the way of that thing.
Oh, I thought it was going balls out. Like it was way fast. The little steamroller thing for like flattening the turf and stuff?
Yeah.
That thing was hauling balls, man.
No, dude.
I challenge you to rewatch it.
I don't think I will, but all right. Right on. What else you got?
Let's see. We went to the theater. We saw The Boogeyman.
What'd you think?
We really enjoyed it.
Cool.
And we rank it, I rank it higher than it technically should deserve because it's the same premise that's been done 1,000 times. It's just that the other 1,000 times have mostly been shit.
Sure.
So this one wasn't shit in the presentation.
Okay.
I have no problem with like redoing the same old story.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind reboots and shit like that. So I just thought they kind of took a regurgitated premise and made it look better, acted it better. It still had dumbass, like, why wouldn't they just do this or that?
Right.
But it's much better than, like, The Boogeyman or The Boogeyman 2.
Sure.
and the other 1,000 Boogeyman
There's several
movies. It was also similar to Lights Out, so that led us to watch Lights Out again.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's good. We watched Critters 3.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Lee Retardo DiCaprio.
There he is. I knew he was in there.
He was in there. This movie is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
I gave that a 4.
Generous.
And then the immersion therapy. That's it.
Okay, that's what we're looking at, inmates. Speaking of immersion therapy...
Immersion therapy.
Dare from 2019, Jason. Felt kind of tired to me.
Took me a long time to figure out why this movie was called The Dare.
Well,
they finally got to it.
Yeah, you got to get past the 45-minute mark before you figure that part out. It's basically another Saw knockoff. That's what I felt, anyway.
How did he track these people down?
Who fucking knows? He's been living in a shanty out in the woods. It's not like he's got Facebook.
And don't you think for a split second, if you were any one of these chuckleheads that are chained up in this house, that if you're trying to figure out why me, I'm innocent, wouldn't you hearken back to the one time you left a boy abandoned with a fucking rapist murderer? Weirdo.
Yeah. Or more to the point, hey, here's my 3 old childhood friends. It's going to take me, 3-4 days to figure out that these are my childhood friends?
Right.
Come on, man.
Then he tries to convince the guy that, oh, you were my friend.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they meet that one night?
Yeah.
Like, they met the one night and started fucking him over and then gave him up to the weirdo.
Yeah. I wouldn't call us friends. I would call you fucking assholes that deserve to be here.
Thanks a lot, pal. Thanks a lot, chum.
I like Richard Brake. He's usually pretty good as a psycho.
Definitely typecast.
Yeah. Other than that, it's kind of a tired. It's a new vehicle to jump into torture mode, but it's nothing we haven't already seen.
Yeah.
No,
it seemed like just a tired, repeat of a bunch of other movies.
I would agree. I say you can skip The Dare, inmates. Your immersion therapy for this week is going to be Forest of Death from 2023. I know absolutely nothing about this movie except that it is streaming on Tubi, so check that shit out. We'll do the same, and we can compare notes next week. But now, it is time to educate Darian.
Educating Miss Monica.
First, my clues from last week. I was a bit of a mama's boy and didn't have the best of luck with the ladies. Mom died, which means I'm now the king of the castle and I get to do whatever the hell I want. Why wouldn't I build a fireproof chamber in the basement? Why wouldn't I fire up the flamethrower? Why wouldn't I lure some unsuspecting young ladies down there and force them to have sex with me at flame point?
Why wouldn't you have horror workout on loop?
Why would I not do that, Jason Harrell? I am, of course, don't go in the house. Rapist with a flamethrower. What else do you need?
That's all I need.
It's a rapist with a flamethrower. Who might I be this week? Well, glad you asked, because I am trapped in an elevator with 5 other people, and these are not the best people to be trapped in an elevator with. And I don't know, man. Suddenly the lights go out and one of them is dead. And then some other shit goes down and another one is dead. And what the fuck is happening? And now we're starting to do the math, and it turns out everybody in this elevator is a complete piece of shit. Now I'm wondering if I'm really trapped in this elevator or not. Who might I be, you ask? Tune in next week, and I'll drop some knowledge on you, inmates. In the meantime, I think that's about going to do it for us this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Join us next week for Bones here in Terrordome month in the padded room. Like, comment, subscribe wherever you found this show. That helps our visibility quite a bit. You can also make a contribution if you'd like. Support.paddedroompodcast.com will take you directly to the Patreon link. We've got a whole incentive system and tiers and all that shit that you love about giving money to podcasts. You're going to love it all. You just get in there and check it out. See what you think. Other than that, man, you got anything else on the week?
That's all I got.
Alrighty. 4. Fucking Rawhead Rex.
And his horse
The Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina
wine mixer. People stuck in elevators. Corpses that move around when they shouldn't. Horror workout videos. Do you need a plot? No. Do you need a workout? Probably not. But in 1990, you could stroke your dick to this thing. I promise you that.
Wipe it on your leg, woman.
And the Padded Room Podcast, I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Bye-bye.
What did the sprinter eat before the race? Nothing. They fast.